Let's take a look at Amin and Ausar Thompson and break down their one game playing in the TBT. I do want to be completely transparent that this is the only game footage I have seen of them, and I personally do not like using highlight videos to do breakdowns. We're going to start with number 0, Ausar Thompson, and with the shooting, didn't see a lot of jump shots from either player. This is the one we got from Ausar, a little sidestep 3. We did get quite a few free throws, and if I had to say which one I believe in more as a shooter right now, it would be Ausar, but it's a big area of improvement for both of them. Obviously high-level athletes, and so what can they do getting downhill to the rim? A really nice possession right here from Ausar, getting downhill, down to the block, and then showing some finesse with that finish off the glass. I did think in general he left a little bit to be desired in terms of his finishing. He missed a little bit of a floater right here outside the block. I like this drive, goes to the spin move, elevates off 2 feet. Again, you can see the athleticism. I know he gets fouled, but I would have liked to see him finish those. And then something I didn't see a lot, this was the only time he really went to it, but I wonder if there's a little bit of this mid post in his game. Maybe as the shot develops, he can go to a fadeaway and attack that way if he gets the right matchups. In this game, you could see him and Amin struggle just with strength a little bit, which is understandable considering who they were playing against. As the game went on, I really thought he started to showcase some passing flashes. So here in isolation, actually hits his brother on a backdoor play right there. And then another one as he attacks into the lane. So you see the nice little between the legs, attacks all of these help defenders, and is going to hit his big man on the block. So you see on those last 2 clips, ability to break down the defense and create for others to get open shots. I will say I thought he could have operated a little bit better or looked more comfortable in ball screen situations and just the handle in general. And then on this play, you get to see him get sped up and ends up in a turnover. They were on most possessions playing this pretty hard in the ball screen, and I think that threw him off just a little bit. Here you see him play off. He gets a switch. He's still going to attack this. He's got to be ready to get rid of this pass just a little bit quicker as the help defender came over. So you could see some areas for improvement just in terms of him creating and off the bounce, especially in the half court. But one thing he can do is I'm excited to watch him off the ball. Offensive rebounds, cuts, backdoor. As you see, his man turned his head right there and he's able to go in and finish that miss. And then moving to the defensive side of the ball, I think he can be a really high level defender. There's some small things to improve on that we'll talk about, but you see here how disruptive he's willing to guard out away from the basket. You see almost out here at half court and really disrupting this possession. Again here, sometimes he gets in a habit of reaching, but look how far away from the basket he is and his ability to move his feet, stay in front, uses that long wingspan right there to get a deflection on the ball, almost forces a turnover. Now I said there are some areas for improvement. So right here in transition does a good job, but watch as he eventually gives up right here and just goes for the steal. So I love it initially. Right here, I would like to see him just square the offensive player up, stay in front, finish off the possession that way, but he does have a little bit of a tendency to reach. You see it ends up in a bucket on that possession. And then off the ball stuff. I know this is in transition. It just really showcases his high level athleticism as he goes and gets that block. And he did show some nice low man reps where he recognized it, came over. I think he even tried to take a charge on one. So I do think he could be a rim protector in that way, but he also is going to have to just be a little bit better about not always going for steals like he does there. And then on closeouts, not running by and going for shot fakes and putting his team in a tough spot. So I do think there's some areas for improvement on that end of the floor, but with his athleticism and his willingness to guard, I do think he can really be disruptive and an all-around good defender. Now as we transition to Amin, we're going to start with the shooting. So again, it's something that's going to have to improve. I said I think I buy Ausar's shot just a little bit better right now. Amin kind of has that fade off to the right side of his body with his jumper. Again, this was the only jumper he had in this game. And I do want to say that neither of them really showed anything in the mid-range. No pull-up jumpers, no real floaters or anything like that. Ausar did have the one miss. Amin is just as athletic as you see him attack this closeout and finish that above the rim on that play. I thought in general he showed a little bit better in terms of getting in and finishing around the rim. A tough finish here in transition as he catches, gets to the other side of the rim, finishes kind of an awkward one with his left hand. And then here in isolation, you see the nice crossover, create space, and then going to go over the top of the defender and finish at the rim. So I thought he looked a little bit better actually than Ausar in this specific game, getting to the rim. I do think both will have to get better and stronger finishing. So you see him able to get there. Love this offensive rebound as he goes up and gets that. And then as he's trying to play through contact, probably gets fouled, but I do think some strength will come. And again, we do have to take into account who they were playing in this game. And then the mid post. So I talked about the mid range not seeing much. You see Amin go here as well. And again, you can see he got frustrated a little bit playing through the contact. But I wonder with him being what is widely considered a little bit more of a point guard, he himself, they both will say that Amin is a little bit more of the ball handler, Ausar a little bit more off ball. But I think that's something he could do if he has that mid post in his game. Obviously, that would be great value with the matchups he could get. And then him creating, you see here in the half court, able to go behind the back, collapse the defense. I thought in the second half, when he was able to get the ball a little bit more, run the show a little bit more, you could see the energy in his game step up and he looked more comfortable. And these clips are going to show him creating for teammates. So in transition, late transition, attacks, it's a one more pass, but it would have been a hockey assist had the shot been made. Again, here he has the ball in his hands in the full court, able to attack. The beautiful in and out dribble right there, loses the defender, gets a teammate a wide open shot in the corner that he's not able to make. So we had quite a few of these where he created for teammates. They just weren't able to finish. And then I talked about it with Ausar off the ball, the offensive rebound. Amin can do the same thing as you see his man turns his head. So playing off ball here with a cut, attacks the rim, gets himself to the free throw line. So both of them have the ability to do that. And then looking on the defensive side of the ball, Amin can do some of the same things. I do wonder a little bit about his ability to stay in front of quicker guards. You're going to see here he does for a second. Eventually, get some help, but then the athleticism to protect the rim. That same player did lose him in the first half just with a little bit of quickness. So maybe he's going to have to give just a little bit of space, but he can be a disruptor just like his brother there. Uses his length and his wingspan to get a deflection there, gets his brother to the free throw line. This is what I was talking about here. Playing this far away, you really got to be down in a stance, and you're going to see the same tendency just to kind of reach, just like I showed with Ausar, ends up with the bucket. Now off the ball, he has some of the same things, a little bit too aggressive at times, but I thought Amin was a little bit better doing some of the nuanced things. So here we're going to see a back screen communicates and effectively makes the switch. And then this is what I'm talking about here on the weak side, able to rotate inside of the guy on the block and not give up a dump off there. Now for both of them, I would have liked to see them use that athleticism a little bit more on the boards. You're going to see him give up an offensive rebound there, but watch him attack this second one. And that's what I would have liked to see just a little bit more. Again, I want to be completely transparent. I've watched them for one game from that TBT game, but just breaking down that one game and showing what Ausar and Thompson were able to bring to the floor on the offensive and defensive ends.